We are live. It says I'm live. I'm going to wait for my laptop to confirm that I'm live and that I have sound. And then we'll start talking about topic of the day. Here we go. All right.
Live and that I have sound.
Yep, got sound. Laptop's working.
And then we'll start talking about
All right. So how's everybody doing? This is going to be a interesting vlog here. It's something a little bit different. I'm going to talk about my past and my guest's past with professional wrestling and our thoughts on basically what we did to ourselves with CTE and some other injuries and things like that. So I'm going to bring him in now so he can introduce himself. Here we go. There's the Rap Master.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Rap Master here.
So we've probably been together in the wrestling business for minimum of 10 years, I'd say.
Yep.
Maybe 12, something like that. We've traveled together, trained together, been on the same team, been on the other side of the opposite of the ring, and everything in between, I'd say.
Yeah.
Hey, we got Jones's Rides. Hey, what's up? Glad you could join us here.
What's up?
So we're going to hang out for a couple of minutes. We're going to wait for some people to stroll in. Then we're going to start a story time, basically, of how this all came to be and kind of what we went through. So we got a couple people trickling in. I see the watching now is going up. And I got clips. I have a bunch of video clips too that we're going to be showing, that we're going to be talking about. I did as much as I could. A lot of it, some of it's lost, some of it's still on VHS, and some of it from my independent wrestling, I just don't have. I just don't have access to their tape vault, so it's not much I could get. So, all right, we're going up. So I'm just gonna queue up the first one first. So, hey, there's Sam's Garage. Hey, what's going on? See, people are trickling in. All righty. All right, so you ready to go down this road, Rap Master?
I'm ready to go back down this road there.
All right, so we're gonna have to start at the very beginning, really. So basically, you have to understand where we fall in the pro wrestling timeline is right before the boom of the Attitude Era in the mid-90s is pretty much when we started. Throughout the late 90s into the early 2000s was our peak, which was the peak of professional wrestling, the Attitude Era. I would say we're a product of that environment. So with the style of wrestling that we did and just how we went about things, which looking back on it probably wasn't the greatest for us, but again, it was the times. You know, I don't think there was any way we could have avoided what we did or the style that we had. Sam's Garage Jigsaw is overheating. That's not good. Let's do a coolant flush in that thing, maybe. Who knows? But so we started, say mid-90s, we were just messing around. Just backyard, stuff like that, just throwing chairs at each other, stuff like that. Then we got into the late 90s, we got a little bit more serious about it. I'd say we actually started taping things, and we had an audience. Really, we had literally a paying audience come and watch us.
Man, we got the cops called on us the very first match.
Like, think about this is like, what, 97, 98? Something like that. Think about what we were doing at that time was way ahead of its time. We had 100 people watching us in a backyard wrestling. There are independent shows that are legitimate that don't pull that in now. So, what are you going to say? But, yeah, and there's no ring, no padding, no nothing, just hard ground, us throwing cookie sheets, chairs, and all that stuff at each other. And then we went from there, I would call it, from backyard to underground, because it wasn't really independent yet. We got into a ring, we were getting fully trained and all of that, but it was still not quite independent, going out and doing real shows or anything. It was still more contained and still on tape and things like that. And then I think that's where we start to split. Is a lot of guys hit the underground scene, did a few shows, and then we kind of split from there. And I went more on the independent scene for another few years, while some of the other guys kind of dropped off for various reasons. It wasn't just because they didn't want to do it. A lot of guys got beat up, just injuries, and life gets in the way and things like that. So, and looking back on it, I think it just a lot of other guys as part of that group, you'll probably agree with me, Brad Master, we kind of let our personal demons get in our way. I think as a group, if we stayed together as a group and we had our shit together, we could have done something. And I take a little bit of responsibility for that because I just was an absolute mess at one point. And, I couldn't even get my own life together, let alone, a wrestling crew together. So.
No, I think we all were at that point.
Yeah. I mean, physically, mentally, whatever. It was, again, a product of the times.
I was pretty much done after one of the clips you're going to show.
Yeah, I have a bunch of clips that I'm going to show, which is funny because you actually kept going after that a little bit.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get into some clips and we're gonna tell some more stories as we go along here. But basically, the reason why we're talking about CTE and headshots and stuff like that is, again, it's a product of the time. Nobody knew football, baseball, anything. No one knew the effects of getting hit in the head consistently. And I think the biggest misconception of that is it's always a concussion. It's not always a concussion. I've had 3 that I've known of, and I think the Rad Master you've had at least 1 that we know of.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not just a concussion, it's repeated blows to the head, regardless of whether or not it was enough to give you a concussion. So really just falling. If you fall in your yard and hit your head on the ground and you don't get a concussion out of that, that's still jarring your head. That's still considered a blow to the head.
Yep.
So even us just bumping, big bumps, hitting the ring, power bomb, stuff like that, it all adds up over time. So I'm gonna show these clips of some headshots here. Let me share this montage I've got going here, just to give you guys an idea of really what I'm talking about. All right, let's start this. Boom, barrel just right to the head. And this is the underground stuff that I'm talking about. Those are people paid who came to see us in someone's backyard. Straight chair shot. Like, I'm going to actually stop that. Let's go back. Notice where my hands are?
Yeah, not where they're supposed to be.
Yeah, no, that's all straight bashing me in the head with a friggin' steel.
Well, you also have to think about it this way. Look at the barrel shot that you took at the beginning of the clip. It still had all the stuff in the barrel.
Right.
And they threw it.
There's a clock.
That was a clock.
So I'll queue up some other stuff there. But yeah, that's just a general idea of stuff that we took. And no one put their hands up. That was like part of our crew. I think one of the only people who did, was Aaron. I think Aaron actually would at least put one hand up. At least he was a little bit smarter than the rest of us.
Oh, Sam, yeah, it definitely was real.
Yeah.
Especially those cookie sheets. They were made from like the 1970s when they were all real metal instead of the stuff that they have nowadays.
I think that's the misconception too. I think the word fake gets thrown around. What you do inside of the ring, the art that it is, and the story that we tell, that's not fake. Just because the predetermined fact of, okay, this is how the story's going, this is how it ends, some people call that fake, but how we get there is not very fake at all.
No.
And we'll get into the struggles that we've had. Maybe now that we watched the headshot montage, I'll kind of talk about a little bit of what I'm going through. So I've had 3 known concussions. Who knows? Maybe more. I don't know. At one point, it just turns into a blur. And consistent headaches, blurry vision. You get, like, for me, and sometimes it's different for everyone, you get this weird, like, ringing sound, almost like a tinnitus sound sometimes. And my balance is absolutely crap now. So, and again, the problem, again, with CTE is you don't know. Until you're gone, you have no idea that you even had it. Like, they can guess, they can run scans, but they have no idea. And we're all reaching the age now where this is really going to start. If we do have it or some form of it, it's going to start affecting us. So it's kind of another reason why I wanted to do this stream and bring the Rap Master in and kind of talk about these things. But you guys need to bring it back.
No.
No. We've talked about one more match, but there's no way we're both way out of our prime at this point. It's going to be a lot. It would be a smoke and mirror show of just the greatest hits, basically.
It would be us wrestling. There would be no hardcore stuff like back in the day with cookie sheets and barrels and everything else. No. We want the Fed that used the fluorescent light bulbs to get people over and all of that stuff. No, we didn't do that.
And that's the funny part. It wasn't hardcore just to be hardcore. It made sense.
Yes.
Like, it was blow-off matches. It was, okay, we've been feuding. This feud isn't done. Now we got to take it to the next level. It wasn't just like, oh, let's throw a trash match out there.
Oh, God, no. No. That would be like an every weekend thing where we sat there and we planned everything out. No.
Right. And that's what's funny. You can go back from 95 to 2006. The story starts in 95 and it ends in 2006.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there are callbacks that we do all the way back through those years that unless you watch every single show, you might miss. Now you guys are pros.
Yeah, old pros.
Old pros. So as far as going pro, I was actually the first one out of the group. Yep. I went all the way down to Florida to train with Dory Funk Conservatory when I was 18. As soon as I turned 18, I went down as soon as I could because back then they wouldn't train anybody under 18. So it's like, all right, well, I want to go to a legitimate place of a known guy. And I was down there for a week, I think, maybe a little more than a week. And Dory's awesome. I think he's still actually training in wrestling, which is crazy. But the cool thing while I was down there, I saw the second to last Nitro and the very last WCW Thunder while I was down there, and I was backstage looking at met pretty much the whole roster while I was down there.
And you got to prove it.
Yep. And I was late to that Nitro. They were going to use some of our guys from Dory's class, and they wanted someone to go through a table, and it was going to be Scott Steiner putting someone through a table. And we had talked about it beforehand, and I'm like, dude, I weigh like 150 pounds. You can just yeet me over the top. We were talking about a gorilla press over the top rope through a table. I got there late. So they picked somebody else, and they didn't even do that because the guy was too big. They're like, oh, they just like give him like a choke slam through a table or something silly like that, and it looks like crap.
Dude, that would have been like Goldberg throwing Spike Dudley in the ring.
Right. It would have looked amazing. But, hey, what are you going to do? Maybe it was for the better. Maybe, other things. But so I came back from there, and I started training my own guys, basically at that point. And then also we finally, later on, I'd say a year later, maybe, after that, we found a group in New Bedford, which is where a lot of these clips are from, to start training us. And then from there, for me, I've also been trained by Jerry Lynn. I don't know if you know him from ECW and WWE and WWF, and he was in WCW too. Ultimo Dragon. I've been trained by the Ultimo Dragon gym. Jorge Riviera did the Torrimon 2000 project. I went down to Pennsylvania a couple times for that. And some local guys just who have been in the business for years. Hey, it's Mr. G. What's up, Mr. G? In Chopper Fett. Guys get to see some fun stuff. So, yeah, as far as being professional and independent, I can honestly tell you I can call myself a pro at that point. So let's go through some more clips, Paul. Let's see. So, and these clips that I'm showing, again, for the people who are new, is all I really have left. There's a lot of stuff that's on VHS. There's a lot of stuff from some of the feds that I worked for that I just can't get. So this is really all I have access to.
You also have to think a lot of those feds aren't around anymore either. So.
That too. A lot of these people are gone. So what are you going to do? Girl versus Life. Nice to see you hopping in on this nice wrestling stream here. All right. Well, I got to share the screen before I start the video. That would help. All right, so we'll go through some clips, and if you want me to stop Rat Master and say anything, just let me know. So.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
All right, so here we go. Me and the Rat Master doing our thing. So here's something I became known for.
Oh yeah.
This is something you would probably see in every single one of my matches. Dude, the height. Like, oh man, I'm gonna roll it back. Like, you don't understand. Like, it's not just I'm not falling. Like the leap.
No,
and look
that was all height.
Look how far away you are. Like, really?
It looked about 10 feet.
Yeah, what is wrong? Oh man, you can just. And that's a kendo stick to the
head.
dome, to the head. And so here's the boom. Again,
yeah, that was a real cookie sheet. I stole that from my grandmother.
Again, no hands, no nothing. It's just like boom, right in the dome.
And full wind up.
Full wind up. And then he does it again. And then we got this suplex through a wooden board there. So, again, as you can see, just think about, those are just clips. And we're talking about years and years of just doing that style of wrestling. So we'll go back. It's a little bit later. See, we modified that one a little bit. This was fun. Little flip.
And notice, no hands.
No, yeah, that's a good point. You didn't even friggin' catch me.
Nope.
I just bounced right off of you and hit the floor.
I just took feet and
look at
to the face.
I planted myself right on his shoulder to catch me, and he just took it right in the face. You lift your feet up on that one too.
Yeah, not as bad as the other one from earlier.
Jeez, all right. This is a good point to stop. I know you've gotten this complaint, Paul, of being too stiff.
Yeah. Yep.
So we work very tight, and the people in our circle and the people that we work with know how we used to work and didn't have a problem with it. When we wrestled someone new or someone new came from the group, they were like, "What the hell are you guys doing?" Like, we would full blast each other, punches, kicks. And the reason is, for me at least, even though it's a story and we want people to believe, I still wanted people to think, holy shit, this is still kind of real.
I wanted. Oh yeah, no, that was full real.
Yeah, I'm gonna play this. Watch, just wind up, bam, just decks me in the head, and again, and that's not. And there's a term that we use in a business, selling. That was me taking his punches, being like, okay, I'm gonna fall for real now. The DDT. Let's go back 10 seconds here. So just and a good point with the we're talking about, again, headshots, and this is a perfect example of he's not swinging anything at my head. This is a bump hitting of me not even putting my hand down into the ring. Just like up, boom,
down,
just landing, and it's that day after day after day of just shots like that. I misses that backflip.
Yeah, there was no putting hands down on that move either.
No.
Or the stop sign.
And then we got the clock again. That's legit. We didn't even, there was no gimmicking or nothing. I think we bought that like the night before.
Yeah.
Like we went beep beep. Yeah, this will work.
We turned it into a Flavor Flav clock.
Like,
I used a cat leash for that to actually put it around my neck.
I think there was actually zero concern of it actually breaking until we actually did it.
Yeah.
Like we didn't even think of it. We're like, yeah, it might break. Who knows? It's great that it did, though. The visual of that is awesome, though. Like, I show people that clip and they're like, holy crap.
Yeah.
All right. See you, Mr. G. Thanks for swinging by. But that's just a small taste of kind of what we go through. I got a bunch of other clips too. I got another. That's a different one. I'm going to show the one from you, Paul, and then you can talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta cue it up here.
Oh, Sam's Garage. We got hurt all the time doing this. All the time.
Okay, I got it queued up.
There was a question in the chat. I'm just answering it for you.
No problem. Injuries. Before I play it, yeah, we can talk about injuries real quick. I've never broken anything. As far as I know, none of us have broken any bones actually wrestling.
Nope. Bruised the tailbone big time.
Yeah, which is what we're going to watch.
Yeah.
Part of it. I think you bruised it before this, if I remember correctly. Definitely gotten banged up. My shoulder was banged up. And this is before my motorcycle accident. And it was the same shoulder that I busted in my motorcycle accident. So I've had no luck with my left shoulder. And just bruises, again, concussions, just like cuts, things like that. But nothing that would really stretcher us out or hospital or anything like that. We walked away from everything.
Yeah.
So I'm going to play this, and I'm going to let Rat Master talk about it.
So, yeah, we set this spot up. I was going up and out, and he decided he was going to punch me off the apron. And right here, I just landed on the ground. There was nothing there.
Look at you, like that mat doesn't go all the way because you can see past him. Like if you can see the mouse moving, that's just wooden floor.
Yeah. So that was legit bump. I regret doing that now.
What you should have done is just bumped on the apron and rolled off.
What I should have done is I should have I should have just pulled a Nia Jax and hit my hole.
Yeah, just bumped off the apron and gone. So this is something that as you get experience, knowing it's called buying time, basically giving the other guy a chance. I normally jump up to that top rope. And you know that. So I walked up that rope.
Yep.
Just because I'm like, holy crap, he just like died.
Well, the other thing is once you do this, once you hit me with the crossbody, I think it's a crossbody block.
Yeah, crossbody.
You roll over, you come back over at some point and you say, you all right? I said, no, end this now because my back is killing me. I can't move.
Yeah, I think we went home after that point.
So I remember that one. That one hurt a lot.
Yeah, I'll show
yeah, see, those chairs do hurt. We didn't use we used those really thick metal chairs with no padding on them.
Right, yeah, just the straight steel chairs.
We used to wrap them with barbed wire, chain. We used to set them on fire. You name it, we did it to the chair.
Oh, it's the product of
chairs got more violated than anything.
That's the product of the times. So here's I'm going to queue up another one. This is actually a good view of me just taking a straight digger into the ring. So share that out again. So this is Rat Master's DDT, lifting implant DDT. Again, no nothing. I'm just like face bump, boom. So, and surprisingly, a lot of people had trouble taking that who wasn't me. Like no one took it. When you did that move to other people, it didn't look as good.
No.
And I fell 16 feet on my back at work. Oh yeah, that'll
hurt.
I'm taking falls that much.
Well, we've gone off of garages.
Yeah. It's even just like, I mean, like JR used to say all the time to Mick Foley, oh, these guys know how to fall. Great. Yeah, we know how to fall. That's how we can get back up. Doesn't mean it doesn't hurt.
Mick Foley knows all about that.
Yeah, I mean, that guy's lucky he can walk. That's another thing. We talked about injuries for a little bit. I've got a permanent, somewhat limp at some point. It depends on the day. With my back, I've got major sciatica going down my right leg. It's occasionally going down my left too. My L5 disc is like nothing. at all. Out of like all my discs, and I've done like you land on the back of my head, shoulders, big bumps. It's only that one disc, and we can't really like everything else looks fine. And then you look at that one disc, it's like, it looks like it's from a 70-year-old man who's been beaten up a little bit.
Well,
but that's where the sciatic is coming from, because that's where the nerve goes, is down on that bottom disc.
I remember a couple of practices when we had there, doing the triple moonsault, going off the top rope, coming off the second rope, doing the one off the first rope, and I almost broke my damn neck.
Yeah. But I think that was good for us. It was a good learning environment because we had free reign of the ring. Like, it wasn't like these guys were pretty casual, the ones that we hooked up with. And after practice, that we would just go in there and mess around for like at least another hour and just try our own shit. Bring the pads in, do some top rope moves or whatever. Most schools aren't like that. Like, you go to a legitimate school, they're not going to let you go mess around and do things like that. But, let's see. Dang, dude. My kickboxing career began and ended in the same night.
Ouch.
Yeah, unfortunately, that'll do that. I have seen wrestlers go out and wrestle an independent show once and never come back. Locally, some guys don't even last a few shows. And it's not like national. Like, you got like WWE and AEW running shows every week. Most independents only run once a month.
Yep. The
independents that I was running with was twice a month. They ran more shows in New England than any other independent. So I was wrestling, honestly, in my peak, probably 5 times a month at legitimate shows. Ratmaster, do you ride motorcycles?
That I do not.
He rides Camaros.
Yes. Love the lace strips.
But that's a good point to get into, I think, and that's kind of where we split off, Ratmaster, was when I started hitting those independents.
Yep.
Once we got out of the underground stuff, you missed a lot of the grind of the road, but we still kind of had that with the MUW down to the underground, because there was travel, there was getting ready for shows, us going down there, staying overnight down there.
Yeah.
Making sure everything was ready for the show.
Oh, yeah. Sleeping overnight in the ring.
And literally in the ring.
Literally in the ring.
Because there was nowhere else to go. No heat, no nothing. Like, that's just... like, when you hear about these guys, old school territories and the independents talking about the grind, it's real. Like, there's no exaggeration of the grind. And I've traveled up and down the East Coast in cars, slept in shady-ass hotels for no money. You just do a show and you get like $10. It's like, all right, great. That wasn't even enough for gas.
Nope.
But you're doing it because you're just trying to get your name out there. So I think the roughest time was me and John Thornhill. We went out to train with Jerry Lynn in Erie, Pennsylvania. We drove 10 hours straight to get there Thursday night, trained with him and did a show Friday night, drove back that night Saturday to do another show in New Bedford, Mass. So we stopped at my house, showered, whatever, cleaned up, ate, then drove. It was about 30 minutes south to New Bedford. We did the show, and then finally got to go home Sunday. And that's just insane to me. That's the type of grind that a lot of guys just keep doing. Let's see. My bike was overheating. Yeah, it's probably those high RPMs, man. Maybe I just wasn't ready for the race. But we got other guys who just kept dropping out. Just injuries. Some of them didn't even make it to the underground. I think we had one initial show where they showed up, hit the ring, and said, nah, we're not doing this. Like that was enough for them. I'm trying to... I can't even think of all their names, really. I'm trying to think of a couple people, but it just dropped out.
Oh, we're still friends with a bunch of them.
Yeah, still talk to them, but...
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got. I got the bump. Carl, we did that. Oh, I got the final show. So we can talk about a little bit more about the timeline here. So yeah, so those clips are all from the early 2000s, which is when we were in the underground thing. And then about around that 03 time to like 05 before my motorcycle accident is when I was independent. That was my peak. 03 to 05 before I crashed my motorcycle. And then after that is just really, this whole shoulder just was gone. I was out for 8 months. Like I did nothing to do with wrestling for like 8 months after that.
Nope.
And then I still couldn't, like this shoulder, this range I have now, I didn't have before. I could only go like this high. And eventually I was like, oh, let me try to get back into the ring. And it was just not, it was never the same at that point. And just the wear and tear would catch up with you. And then we still had the promoter or whatever had a different building. He was going to run another show. I did another show for him. I actually did a couple shows for him. And it was just never the same. I just couldn't get back to where I was just because I didn't, my training and personal issues and stuff like that. So I contacted the old crew and I said, hey, if this is 2006, I'm like, why don't we do one final show? Why don't we see who we can get together? Just be like, this is it. This is what we're going to do. And we'll just do our thing again and just call it a day. Well, everyone's, at first everyone always says, hey, we're all in, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right. They came down, we practiced, we did all this stuff. 3 people showed up.
So we took those 3 people and we turned it into 6 different matches with us playing a bunch of different characters. Yes. Well, so you see, the Rap Master decided he was going to dress up as Spider-Man. The fattest Spider-Man ever, mind you.
Yeah, we had a couple gimmick matches, and we just made it work. We're like, hey, we're here. We've got the time. Might as well just, do what we can with it. All right. See you, Sam. Thanks for stopping by. I definitely appreciate it. So, yeah, we got some final clips from 2006. And this is something that I can't overstate for this show of how beat up and strung out I was on this. Like, nobody even... I never really talked about it to anybody, but I'm like, I should not even be in the ring doing this. But we did it. I made it through it somehow. All right. So we'll just do some... I can't even hit play. I've got another window stopping the play button. Yeah, I hit. Okay, there we go. So, and I had gear. As you can see, independent. I had my gear on and all that. So, and we're just doing our thing.
And you had longer hair at that point too.
Yeah, grew my hair out again.
That might have been the cleanest.
I think that's
ever done.
Yeah, I think the final one was the cleanest one we ever did.
And you also have to think. At that point, oh Jesus!
Yeah, let's just keep doing the same stuff over.
But it worked.
It worked. Yeah, so we just, like I said, it was just a greatest hits, basically. Like
literally, here comes the greatest hits.
All right, this is something. Just taking straight broom shots to the back. Like, look how much he's winding up here. Like, really? He's just winding up and just smacking the crap out of me. Oh, man. Then drops me straight in my head on nose. That was fun.
Mind you, that was a stop sign and 4 cookie sheets.
Yeah, then the cookie sheet to the head. Then the overhead throw. And then we talk about the story and the callbacks to everything. We called back to that 2003 match with the clock in this final match in 2006. Just so the story has a closing and we, closed out that chapter.
Well, it was time to wrap it up.
Watch. So we duck that. Boom.
Teased
it. Gets him. He takes the clock. Then we call 1, 2, 3 with that.
Well, I couldn't hit you in the head with the clock again. That wouldn't have been right.
Yeah, and I know we had that discussion too of how do we end this and still call back to what we did and still involve the clock, and we came up with that.
Well, you had to go over.
Right. Yeah, we actually I remember the three of us talking about, we actually switched everything up. We filmed one match, had a break, and said, all right, how are we going to film the rest of this, in what order, and who's doing what?
Yep.
And we decided to finish the story of my character never beating this other guy, Apocalypse. Never beat him.
Nope.
And he earlier beat you for the title. And
yep.
I didn't want to do it. I really didn't. We had that discussion, and you were actually arguing with me saying, I need to finish this off. I need to finish the story and win the title.
Yeah.
So finally agreed to it. And Aaron was fine with it. He was like, all right, cool, whatever. And we did that match. And that match, I don't know how he feels about it, but me and him actually had, on a personal level, had a falling out before that show even started. Like, we had not talked at all. And he showed up. We did the match and got through it and never talked to him. Really, I don't think I talked to him since. I haven't seen him. And I think that's something that, unless you're in the business, you don't really understand. In the locker room, once we hit the locker room, I don't give a shit what happens outside. If we had personal beef, if we were fighting, whatever, we're in the locker room, we walk through the curtain, we're in the ring, we're there to wrestle.
Keep it professional.
And I give Aaron 100% credit. He did exactly what he said he was going to do. I did what I said we were going to do. We kept our end of the bargain, got through it, and that's that. So I've been in the ring with other guys who I couldn't do that with.
Oh, God, no.
But so that, I think for our story arc, that ends there. And mine actually continues 5 years later. And I do have some footage from that, but I'll show maybe that a little bit later. Hey, we got Minion Moto. What's up? So I went back to the Independents in 2011 for two reasons. I was going through a bunch of personal shit, and the only crutch that I had was maybe I could go back to wrestling. The other reason was I wanted to prove to myself and to the people still in the business that I can still fucking do this 5 years later.
No, that you could.
So I found a promotion. I found some local guys that we had worked with before. They were working for somebody else now. Got me in. The guy saw me wrestle once, and he's like, "All right, you're hired." Like, that was it. That's literally how it went. That we did basically what we call a dark match, and that's basically a pre-taped match. I went out there, did the match. The guy's like, "All right, we filmed it. That's going on the show." Like, he promoted it as a dark match, but he threw it on his show after the fact, like as the very first match. So I did that for about 8 months in 2011 into 2012 a little bit, I think. And finally my body just had enough. Like, my shoulder was bothering me. I had some other stuff going on. I was working like 60 hours a week at a hospital, still trying to wrestle too. And I'm like, something's got to give. And in order to get my shit together, wrestling had to give. So I finally bowed out in 2011 and said, all right, I'm done. My body's telling me, my mind's telling me, life is telling me. I'm like, I think this is it. The only thing that I wish that I did was have that one final match saying, this is my last match.
Yep.
We never, I kind of did what Steve Austin did. Never told anyone that was my last match. He went out there with The Rock at WrestleMania 19 and said, okay, this is it. The only people who know were Vince and The Rock. That was it. The ref didn't know. No one else knew. So basically the only person who knew that match was the last one was me. Like, even the guy I was wrestling had no idea. And then finally, after the show, a couple days later, I messaged the booker and said, dude, don't book me for your next show. Like, that was it. I'm sorry. I'm done. So that's it. Then you got the after effects of all of that, which is really, we can definitely get more into. But again, I touch on it a little bit more with the CTE and the headshots, and I have all of that. My knees are messed up. My shoulder, obviously, and then the motorcycle accident didn't help the shoulder at all either, because I landed on this shoulder for the motorcycle, of course. That just made it worse. Then, I got my back, and you got the arthritis, and you just got the general pains and muscle pains. Like, my back will never be the same, ever. I have to say, the one thing that saved me from the painkillers, probably in the past few years, has been yoga. Like, DDP yoga is no joke. Like, if you're in pain and you need to, like, help yourself and get your joints working, I highly suggest it. There was a point of, it works so great that there was a point that my doctor wanted to do double knee surgery on me. And he's like, you're way too young. He's like, I don't want to do either of your knees. So I started doing, I'm like, I got to do something. So it doesn't make the injuries go away, but it makes, I can walk. I can, do things somewhat comfortably now. And really the only worry I have again is the unknown of the CTE. It's like, how much damage is there? Because there's nothing we can do. And that's, maybe technology, maybe something years from now we'll be able to detect that or something. But again, what do you do for it? It's like your physical brain has bruises on it. It's not like something that like can really heal on its own. So the brain is a totally different organ. It totally works on its own different level. So I think it's going to be quite a while before they can even really come up with something to even combat that. So I think the next best thing that they're doing is just trying to prevent it, minimize that. So I don't know if you want to talk about some of the stuff that you're dealing with years later.
Bad knees, back, tailbone constantly. If I land on that spot on that tailbone, it just sends a nasty chill up my spine. My neck. Sometimes I go foggy and don't know where I am. So
yeah, that's the nerves. That's what really what gets you. Like if you with my disc damage, you might have some damage to the tailbone and the neck there. That really affects the nerves. Hold on. Mama Phoenix and the girls might want to join up, so I'm gonna have to get them a link. Invite. Copy to clipboard. I don't do live streams often enough, so I'm still trying to figure out how to invite people and do all that fun stuff.
No, I was gonna say you could just take the link that you sent me and send it to them.
Yeah, I'm gonna send them through Facebook. Here we go. All right, we'll let them join up. So what are we? All right, we're about live 45 minutes. That's about the time I thought we were going to run, kind of talking through this and showing some clips.
I mean, we got plenty of stories.
We could go on for hours. Like if we really this is just an overhead view of everything that like we went through. We could literally go year by year.
We could go match by match.
Match by match, year by year. Tell you guys the whole story and like storyboard it all out of like who did what, how this character arc went through and title changes and all that stuff. Like we've got it all up here. So
well, how'd you come up with your wrestling name?
That was in high school. So it's just like the most random thing. It's two things, basically. It's from a movie and some kid yelled it in the middle of class. And then someone pointed at me and said, that's your name.
Well, what was your wrestling name? Would you like me to yell it for old time's sake?
So my wrestling name back before, from 95 to 2006, was Crazy Carl. Now, in the Adam Sandler movie, oh God.
Billy Madison.
He says that line once for like a second. He's like, oh, I think Crazy Carl here has got the right idea, or something like that. Or like, I think Crazy Carl's right, or something like that.
Well, was it Crazy Carl that put you up to that?
something like that. And then one of the kids we went to school with, I did something. He's like, oh my God, that's Crazy Carl. And then somebody else was like, holy shit, that's your wrestling name. Because we had been talking about it. Because I was just going by like random stupid names. I'm like, I don't actually have something for me. And then that grew out of it. But then the legend of that grew. And then, okay, well, now I got to live up to this name. And those first couple of years, I'm like, all right, I'm doing crazy stuff. And then you get to the underground. I'm like, these people have heard the stories. I'm like, all right, great. Now I got to do something a little bit higher. And that's kind of where, punishing your body comes in. You're like, well, let me just jump off of something higher then.
Oh, this will look cooler. Let me put on the ladder up on top of another ladder and jump off it that way.
Right. Yeah. Let me stack up 3 tables and have someone push me through them, and it's funny because I saw a documentary with New Jack and he was talking about that exact same thing. Because once he started going and he did a dive and someone's like, oh, that was cool. Do it the next show. And New Jack's like, all right, cool. Well, the crowd didn't pop as much. All right, well, maybe if I jump off of something higher and the crowd pops. So he's like, all right, now I get it. I got to jump off the tallest friggin' thing in whatever arena I'm in and the crowd will pop. So, all right, I see them. All right, so we're going to introduce the BPE bitches. All right, I apologize in advance for these ladies. All right, we see you.
Why don't you guys come sit up here?
Hold on, let me go over here.
Come sit.
Let me go like this. Welcome the BPE ladies.
For sure. No,
We gotta get in.
hold on.
I'm just so glad I didn't keep my first wrestling name.
Yeah, there's no way we would have been able to do that.
Hi.
Hello, everybody. They're the girls.
We're all in bed together.
No.
No
It's
comment.
that kind of party.
Probably buried in your
He's
thing
right.
over
Oh, that's not Charlie. So
All right, so
Dude.
we already went through all our clips and all that. I don't know if you guys have been watching or not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
No, they weren't.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So
We heard when you talked about like stuff.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Those things.
Okay.
Look
I must also tell the viewers that they have been drinking, so don't,
He's probably buried in
We
that.
haven't been drinking.
No.
That's definitely a lie.
Man, I haven't even dropped one single swear yet, so.
So there's some, actually, I can drag
That's the last place you had him.
Michelle and Nikki into this
You bring
because
them upstairs.
Michelle was around in the business when I was wrestling, and Nikki's a huge wrestling fan and local wrestling fan. And she might have actually seen me wrestle without knowing that she saw me wrestle.
Can I
Yes.
just like go like this?
Yeah. You can
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah, that's better, actually. if you
Well,
do that.
Michelle seen me wrestle.
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
I've seen you wrestle. You don't know this, but I watched.
Oh yeah, we watched your,
Yeah,
your
I watched
videos.
some of the old videos.
Oh, I apologize for my language now.
Yeah.
That's okay. Totally.
Some of the
It's
things
a
I said.
Who's here? Is there an audience? No,
No one's in the chat yet, so.
they're lame.
But there might be some watchers who don't have an account, and they can't chat if you don't have an account. So that's kind of how it goes.
I don't think you advertise this very well.
I actually did more than I used to. And
If
you know,
you
if-
had told them that Nikki was gonna get lost in the hotel, you would have like 20 viewers.
Thank you for helping
Look
me
at the
find my
plane.
room. By the way.
oh
Now you
yeah,
look at the
yeah.
plane.
Let's just not talk about that.
Sorry, Ryan.
We played a
It
joke
was
on
a
Ryan.
good time. Come on. It was fun for a little bit, just a little bit.
A little
He
bit.
was
yeah.
so worried. He's like, "You gotta find her."
Because she does wander
Because it's
off.
believable, and I appreciate you. I do. I appreciate your caring. But yeah, it's
She's
believable.
He's like, "We need to get her a leash."
I do. I want the kid leash for when we go to Portugal because I know that yes, I'm going to disappear.
Well, the good thing
It
about
is.
that is it's an island, so you can't actually go that far.
I know,
Wait,
but I'll get
But
lost.
there's caves.
Oh my God, there's caves.
Oh yeah, there's an underground.
Oh, the caves, yeah.
So yeah, kid leash it is.
Or micro.
Backpack.
Say hi, Nadia.
Hi.
So we're just talking about some stuff, and we can now that you're here, we can talk about something interesting of me landing in like what the third row while you were sitting watching a show, and I landed right under you before we even
Before
kind
I
of knew
met
each other.
you.
Before
Yep.
we actually met.
So I did not know Ryan. I went with my ex to go see a wrestling show, and Ryan was there, and he flew out of the ring and landed at my feet.
Oh, that's cute.
And then we met like what, a year later?
Have you ever
At least, yeah.
read
It was a sign.
6 degrees of separation?
The what?
The 6 degrees of separation?
No.
6 degrees of separation is basically like your soulmate or your person is always within 6 like relationships from you somehow. So they're always connected to you within 6 closer relationships are in your circle.
Do you own that book? I'm sure you do.
I probably do. I have a library. Ryan, I spent over $300 today again at the bookstore.
Why do you spend money on books?
I have a library.
She
Oh my
like
God.
I was with her. She had 2 books in her hand. I went to the bathroom. I got lost in the bookstore. I found her. She had a carriage full of books.
I literally like Richard has to make me a like floor to ceiling bookshelf now in the garage because my books no longer fit in the house.
Yeah, that sounds...
Carriage of books or carriage of weapons?
This is Charlie. You guys are boring.
Wow. Well, you just missed all our clips, so
Yeah,
I'm
you
so
just
sorry.
missed
They're
all
not
the
even
fun
talking
stuff.
about wrestling.
you just missed the most horrible moonsault ever.
See?
Onto
No,
a
I
sofa.
didn't. You should see Andrew in our room when I'm not there.
God.
Oh no,
Oh,
no,
they
no,
do.
no.
What were you doing when I
No.
left?
They're jumping from bed to bed. They got yelled at by a Karen in the hallway. And now they're jamming out to the Reese Puff song.
They're,
Hold on.
they're
Oh,
having a good
Jesus.
time.
Are you really gonna pull up that clip right now?
I am, yeah.
What
Oh,
clip?
great.
Ooh, let me see.
Of him just... Hold on, I gotta... Okay.
Who, Andrew or Paul?
No, me.
No,
Wait,
because
breath now.
you talked about doing a backflip, so... All right,
Yeah,
so I'm going to share the screen.
This
You
is
guys
why I
can-
was just trying to learn how to do it.
You guys can see that, right?
Yeah.
All right, so let me...
Oh, I hate that girl.
Is this a match we watched?
Yeah. All right, so this is him doing his backflip.
Or attempt.
Or attempted.
Oh.
I didn't see that.
Hold on.
Well, you don't want to see that.
All right.
Watch
But at least you
watch it.
attempted it, you know?
Oh.
It's the couch.
You're
That looks like
right.
it hurt.
I didn't like that girl.
Oh.
Why don't you
Yeah,
like
she
that
was
girl?
a-
TJ did though,
I'm sure everybody
and
did.
it was his cousin.
Well, Kellen liked her too, so... You know.
Kellen.
Kellen. Is Kellen alive?
Yes,
Yeah, he's still wrestling.
his daughter.
Vanessa.
I
His
don't know.
daughter
who's wrestling
dances on my
dynamic.
daughter's
I
team.
don't know.
Ooh.
They get that
spicy
one.
chicken sandwich from
Popeyes?
Popeyes.
Wait,
Yeah.
No, that's KFC.
All right, so people watch like the first 45 minutes and get the actual topic, and then after that, we'll just get randomness with the girls.
We don't have time for that.
Oh,
No,
hold
We
on.
don't have time to be on topic. We're all about the random.
We're topic?
I don't know what the topic is.
Oh, that's a kid.
This is like a whole separate stream.
It is like a whole separate stream.
So I'm gonna have to like I can't even like tell people that you guys are here.
We're going to Kittery tomorrow. And we saw a life-size chocolate mousse today.
Yeah, we're gonna go get some pixie sticks and some Sobe Adrenaline Rush.
Oh, we each spent like $60 to $80 at the candy store. Why are you taking a picture?
Because it's funny.
So I can tell people that like you guys are here.
Well, we're leaving in like 2 minutes.
That's
Ouch.
stupid.
Dude, we're getting dropped. Like a drop kick.
Like a drop kick.
A 2-inch drop.
The three-step plunge.
This dude- Oh man.
Hey, if you
See,
guys
that's another thing that like someone did, and then it just stuck, and we called it that, and then it just kept happening.
Why?
Well, what about the pickle races at McDonald's?
Yeah, that's it. But basically, for those who want to know, the three-step plunge is when you climb a ladder to the third rung and then do a 2-foot drop kick to someone's nuts.
There's children in the view.
It's okay. She knows what a drop kick is.
no, I don't.
Nikki will teach you what a drop kick is.
Okay.
Okay, that's funny.
And you drop kick people to the back of the knees.
I don't know what that is.
The back of the knees? It's where you bend your legs.
It's when you
you
kick
kick
somebody.
somebody and it makes them fall down.
But what do you, like you kick them in the back of the knees, but what do you kick them?
Right in the back of the kneecap.
Yeah. But
You kick them with your foot right here.
Your
Yeah.
foot.
But what spot do you kick them in?
That's
So if I kick you there,
Yeah.
That's a
You'll fall.
drop kick.
You'll fall.
Oh yeah.
I'll fall.
Yeah.
You want to try it out?
Yeah, sure.
Go
Yeah,
find.
Go do it to Nikki.
No, go find Andrew.
Yeah, go do it to Andrew.
Nikki literally just want to go find the boys.
Oh, awesome.
But they're not coming in. They're not allowed in here.
Yeah.
We're all in here and we all have our hotel rooms like unlocked, open.
That's weird.
Why is it weird?
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
Well, me and Michelle are right next door to each other.
Yeah, Nikki's like way down the hall. And
Yeah.
the first 5 minutes of us being here, Shayna got locked out of her room.
I know.
And she had to go get a key. And then I got locked out of my
I wasn't
room
even drinking.
a little while ago.
I don't know. It's over there somewhere.
Oh, it's
It's
okay.
Because
somewhere.
Andrew came in and he's like, do you have
Leave
the
it
room
alone.
key? And I'm like,
Just leave it alone.
no.
I should put it back there.
Is that yours?
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff here. Can you please?
Yeah, you guys missed a lot of clips.
I don't
A
know.
lot of things we shouldn't have done.
I thought you said you found it. You were lying.
We'll watch it later.
Yeah, they can always rewatch.
Oh,
it.
yeah, they can always, yeah.
If we have time.
But Ryan, we experienced it live.
Yeah, and that was like kind of like the whole point of us, just like we still feel it today, 20-something years later.
20. Dude, it's going to be going on 30 soon.
Yeah, I know.
We're old.
Well, yeah. If we're talking 95 when we actually started, yeah, that's
Yeah, before John Cena, I had his
You're
gimmick.
old.
He can't see me.
You're old. Your mother's old.
I'm not old.
Yeah, you're the youngest one of all of us.
I am, and I'm probably
know.
the oldest one out of all. of
You guys
Yeah,
are
you
old.
are.
Actually, I think I'm the oldest one on the stream right now.
Yeah, by a couple months.
Yep.
Wait, how old are you?
Could be 39.
Oh,
Really?
You're almost in the 40s club.
How are you and Ryan in the same grade?
Because I'm 38.
Because
I'm going to be 39 in August.
that's because Ryan's the whole effing show.
Did you stay back, Paul?
No, Ryan's in August, so he just makes the cutoff.
Yes.
I'm the same thing. So Ryan must have graduated. I'm in August too. So I graduated.
Early.
10. You're
I'm
August 18th.
but I graduated high school when I was 17 because I graduated before I turned 18.
I gotcha.
Get it?
Because back in the day, it was different.
I
Now
would have been 17.
like-
Yeah.
you have to be 5 before October.
Back in the day buffet.
August 31st. It's still August.
And you have it's like October.
Yeah, no. Over here, it's August 31st.
Brian, can we move to Maine?
No.
Why would you want to do that?
What's wrong with you?
We can't move to Maine.
I'm not moving to Maine.
Oh.
It's fucking cold up in this bitch.
Yeah, really.
I'm sorry.
I almost flew away yesterday.
Hey, as soon as I hit 1,000 subscribers, you got to stop with that language.
Oh,
We can still get away with it a little bit now, but once I hit that limit, we got to be
They-
cool about.
Oh, they stopped monitoring.
Yeah,
crap.
I'll start getting strikes and stuff like that. So
I'll give them a strike.
Everyone wants to go swimming.
Oh my god.
Andrew does not.
Our boys want to go swimming.
No, Andrew said no way.
Your TV's going to turn off in 45 seconds.
well, if they want to swim, usually hotel pools close early.
Till
So.
11, but we can only swim for 45 minutes.
Yeah, they get enough chlorine in those things that will kill the Rona if there
Oh
is
my
any in
God.
it.
So bad in there.
I'm sure it is.
I'm hitting okay. This TV is gay.
To open at night.
Hit okay.
I am.
To open.
That's right. We'll just turn it back on.
Oh my god.
The TV.
Oh, these girls.
Oh man, I really think I am gonna start converting those VHS tapes. No, we could retell the story all the way from the beginning all the way to the end.
We really could if we get all those tapes and they're all good.
Nadia, come show them your feet. Guys, you guys want to see how dirty this hotel is? Wait,
Come on. No, wait.
that was not
That's
dirty.
that's gross.
They look like kid feet.
No, they were
Wait,
black.
they're not dirty anymore.
They're not dirty no more.
Why?
They were literally black.
Black.
Oh no. She's been walking around this whole hotel barefoot.
Nice.
Can we talk about the
Can we
Karens
go
at
to
the hotel?
pool, please?
No, you just had a bridge done. We're gonna
Sure.
put the Karens in the hotel. So the
Okay.
boys ran up and down the hallway a couple of times. It's like 8 o'clock, and some lady's like, "I'm trying to sleep." So Nikki yelled at them. An hour later, they ordered food.
Hey, the food's still there.
It's
Oh
still
my
there.
God.
We should go steal it.
I'm not stealing
Oh my god.
because I had to tell her. Have a good night.
That Karen is not going to order food just to see if you're going to steal it.
If I have money and I would.
She don't have money. She's a bitch.
I'm just saying. I don't know if she does. I just think that she might. And we're going to leave the food there. And God knows what is. We're not stealing her food. I yelled at her. She just.
We should have the boys like wrestle and fall into it.
Jesus.
That, hey.
Ryan,
Accidentally
Yes.
Happened.
3-step plunge
I'll give her
into the food.
We were teaching Nadia how to do a drop kick. And
Yeah. I'm down with that.
We were watching these guys and like they're celebrities, and they told us that Nadia should learn how to drop kick in front of room 641. Nadia's literally eating honey, like a bottle of honey,
There's nothing wrong with that.
That's
drinking
okay.
it.
All right, enough of the honey. It's too much sugar.
No, it isn't. It's honey. It's honey, not
It's
sugar.
Nadia Lords.
Ooh, middle name.
You can't yell at me by my middle name.
You can't yell at me by mine either.
That's right.
I L period. I have a middle initial because my immigrant parents are retarded.
I don't even have
Well, I'm supposed to have a middle name, but when they did my paperwork, all they put was L period, like my initial, instead of writing out my middle name.
What was it supposed to be?
Lords.
Oh,
But now it's Shayna L period DuPont on all of my people.
Yeah, but that just means you can make it anything you want.
Yeah, I can.
yeah. Now you can say it's whatever you want, like Larry or
Yep.
Shayna.
Larry.
Shayna Larry.
Or you go like Google head.
Cuckoo head.
No, I said enough. Thank you.
Uh.
Before bed, too much sugar. Now you need to down that whole bottle of water.
So yeah, this is interesting. So instead of traveling and sleeping in cars, wrestling, I'm doing live streams on YouTube.
We're traveling and going to Maine.
And the girls are traveling and going to me.
I'm sitting in the comfort of my home.
Where are you, Rap Master?
I didn't actually eat Nadia.
I'm in the dungeon.
In your basement?
Yes.
I don't think I've ever been in your basement. I haven't been in your house in years.
Not-
Oh yeah, I have.
Not
So
a lot of
you're-
people have been in my basement.
So your old
I have
bedroom?
not been in your basement.
No.
That's not your old bedroom?
This
Is
is the
that where
side
your
with the pool
father-in-law
table.
is now?
All the cats
My
are-
father-in-law is actually down in South Carolina right now golfing.
Oh.
Maria,
Well, he's retired,
this has
Yeah.
boxes and stuff.
so he does what he
Can
wants.
you grab her one of those bags that are in front of you? No.
He just got back from Florida last.
Just one of the small ones.
Wednesday?
Fine. Just for her to
He was
fill
down
it.
there for 3 months.
Oh, wow.
Here you go, buddy. Oh
Was
my
that
God.
trash?
You have 2 pops open.
I know, because you keep opening them for her.
Well, I'm not paying attention to what she's doing.
Anyways,
That's a lot of
Don't throw that away. It's brand new.
so we'll see what the response is. It's a Friday night. It's probably nice out. I wasn't expecting a huge
It's
amount of
freezing up here.
people.
Oh, we got 2 more people. We got 2 people watching now.
Yeah,
it's
it
nice
keeps
tomorrow.
keeps going back and forth. So over the weekend, we'll see who watches it. If the response is positive, that they want to hear the whole story and see more clips, we'll do it.
Oh yeah.
So
You should put a vote up. Do you want to hear more of Blackphoenix and Rap Master's lame stories? Or do you want more BPE girls?
well, I think we should just do girls because there's no way that vote's going to be for us. So
I don't know about that one. I say
Or
put the
do we
vote
want
up.
to see Rap Master in a bikini?
That ain't happening. No.
That should
apparently-
happen. Nikki, get over here.
Oh, sorry.
That would be awesome.
I got my shoes on again. Because I don't want to forget them. Because I will.
Don't put shoes on the bed.
Hey, I'm trying not to.
You're
but I'm
not
gonna
going to
forget 'em.
forget them.
I'm gonna. Really? How many times did I forget my key today? And I got lost.
You didn't get lost for real.
Well,
She got
Huh?
lost. One got locked out.
Well, for the people who watch this whole thing after the fact, they'll get some bonus footage here of all the girls.
Did we say that Paul was gonna wear a bikini?
That ain't happening.
Yeah,
I'm texting your wife.
Oh, there's a main gift store that has these
All
really
right.
cute man onesies.
So
Nope.
I didn't say
That's
that.
a wicked good
They
idea.
have the butt flap thing.
Oh.
And underwear.
just for the sake of YouTube and for people watching, I'm gonna cut off the actual live feed and we can continue this discussion offline. So thank you for everyone who a Ratmaster's in a brick wall for some reason.
Yeah, a brick wall.
Thank you to everyone who came in and chatted with us and talked. And again, if you're watching this after the fact and you actually made it through the whole stupid thing, comment down if you want us to tell the whole story of us wrestling from A to Z. Let me know.
Are you
Message me,
kicking
all that
us
fun
off?
stuff.
He is.
Yeah, here.
I'm doing the live. See, the girls aren't listening. So, anyways, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later.
Wait, so what
See you
happens
later.
now?